This game has had it all. Under a minute left, 58 seconds left, LSU up by 3 points, 42-39. This game has been absolutely wild against Missouri. Jaden Daniels just fumbled the ball, luckily recovered it. He's playing with a really bad rib injury. He is playing an absolute unbelievable performance in this game, with LSU dragging us into this comeback here, this comeback victory. Oh my God. I am stunned by this game. This game has just been crazy. It has had everything. Penalties everywhere. Mistakes all over the place. This has been wild. We're going to be sharing this around. This game is not over yet. I mean, but what a stupid decision by Drinkovich to go for it on 4th and whatever it was. 4th and 32, yeah. My God. What's the point of that? I don't understand. What are the analytics telling you? We knew this game would be a shootout. We knew it would be wild. We knew it would be crazy. But Jaden Daniels getting hurt on a dirty late hit. Even Jade Bramblett punting the ball terribly tonight. This morning. Has been just utterly bizarre. His first great punt of the game is down inside the 5 right when we need it. Boom, boom, boom. Bramblett's been poor today, and that was huge. Jaden Daniels running the football. Wow. We gotta put that play up. Because that's the play of the game. Jaden Daniels, ribs killing him, and he makes that kind of run. Unreal. That rushing play was, in my opinion, yeah, you could call it the play of the game. What? And then Jaden Daniels is still able to throw the football, and luckily Malik is wide open, just walking in. They'll have to drive 95 yards, score a touchdown, but they can also just kick a field goal and tie this. Brady Cook has been terrible at times today. Some of the throws, it was like, what are you doing, man? If you just get it to these guys, even if it's like 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it's going to be like 5, 6, 7 yards at a clip against us. And he still couldn't do it. He was like throwing 10 yards over a wide open guy. He's been very suspect today. Very suspect. What a pick! Major Burns with a pick 6 to seal it. Major Burns with a pick 6 to seal it. What an escape. What an escape by LSU. That is how it's done. That is how it's done, baby. What a moment for Major Burns. That's for 3, baby. That's for 3. What a guy to do it, too. What a guy to make the play. Game over, baby. Game over. LSU's defense win this game. A pick six. What a play from Major Burns. Had 2 interceptions in 2021, but hadn't had one since. Had been picked on in coverage. Makes a huge play to seal the game. What a play for 3. Major Burns seals the game. Unbelievable performance from that young man. That's the thing. This defense went through it all in this. We went through it all in this game. Oh my God, this game is wild. Oh my God. LSU with a 10-point lead now, 49-39 over Missouri. Major Burns with a pick six. We've got people in here. Pick six. Who dat dude me? The fire, baby, the fire. Hey, I'll take it. A win is a win. That's what you say. I'm gonna say it right back at you, bro. We needed this game. LSU are not out of anything in this season. If we can stay undefeated. That defense, I don't think will let us do it, but in theory, with how poor everyone else has been this season and how you just look at it, natural selection will take its course. Teams will beat one another. LSU could go undefeated this season from here on out. 2 losses, win the SEC, and get into the playoff. Yes, that's for sure. I would bet a lot on that eventuality. If LSU could beat Auburn, Alabama, A&M, because one of Alabama or A&M are going to be jettisoned, propelled into that spotlight after tonight, after this afternoon's win against whoever wins that game. And so they'll be on a collision course against us later on in this season. One of the other teams will be kind of left emasculated in the corner. Game's still not over. 16 seconds left. I mean, this game has been ridiculous. The referees have lost complete control of this game early. They lost their grip on this game. They were frankly terrible. The drop. I mean, Missouri, really, if you look at it, let our defense off the hook big time. Who dat dude in me says this was a must-win. Confidence builder for sure. Yeah, but really, LSU got let off the hook big time in this game. Our defense were utterly atrocious for 3.5 quarters of this game. We played a great second half of the fourth quarter. And, a good part of the third quarter as well. But this is about a heroic, near iconic performance from Jaden Daniels with a messed up rib on the road taking hits, making passes, just bulleting, throwing darts all over the field. I mean, this dude did not back down in the face of adversity. LSU are going to pull this out here. Victory formation. Nuss Bus is out there for the kneel. LSU win 49-39 officially here. Wow. That's it. That's it. LSU win 49-39 here. We're going to be spreading this all over the place. What a victory from LSU, because everything was against this team during this game. The defense played just like Ole Miss for 80% of this game. We knew they would. The question was, can you make these kinds of plays? Let's show those plays right now. Plays like this. Can you make a play like Braden Swinson made? Boom. Can your defense make these kind of plays to help your quarterback? And when Jaden Daniels needed this defense to step up, and we still should have recovered the fumble on that play, somehow didn't, but it actually worked out even better because Drinkwitz somehow, for some crazy reason, went for it on 4th and 32. Missouri dropped a ton of passes all over the place. They made how many penalties? 11 penalties. We did too. But still, Missouri, they did a lot of things that played right in our hands. Cook still threw for 395 yards on us. But he did throw 2 huge interceptions. That game-sealing pick 6 by Major Burns, as we just saw. But then that Harold Perkins interception earlier in the game completely was everything that helped this team get back into this game and retake the lead, kind of get that step into this game. And it was weird. The game started kind of being like in the later upper 20s for a second, kind of a field goal contest. Both defenses were kind of getting some stops there for a second. You're even seeing Mason Smith making some plays here. Mason Smith with a face mask sack. You got Harold Perkins making sick tackles for loss on the edge. But really, as much as I want to, say the defense, what a great performance by this defense. No, they just made some plays here and there to really help Jaden Daniels and this offense survive on the road. This game is about Jaden Daniels. This game is about Jaden Daniels. How can it not be about Jaden Daniels? Look at this throw, and just not his best throw of the night. Obviously, Malik is wide open, but his rib is completely screwed up. And once again, he's just I don't know how. I don't know how you could ever doubt his toughness, doubt his commitment to the program. There were people who said, he's in it for the draft. He's in it for, just to not sit on the bench and all this stuff. Well, yeah, of course. Who wouldn't want to start? But the questions were about his character and all sorts of stuff. But you can say whatever you want about Jaden Daniels. You can't say that he is not one of the toughest motherfuckers to ever play for LSU. Look at this. And he takes another shot in the ribs. I mean, this guy is gritty. He is tough as nails. And he does what it takes to get the W's. Jaden Daniels, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here on his stats. Jaden Daniels, 15 of 21, 259, 3 passing touchdowns, 71% completion rating. Rushing, 15 attempts, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. Of course, that the sack yardage is taking off however many. Let's see. Sack adjusted rushing. LSU rushed for 278 on the ground tonight. Logan Diggs is someone we have to mention. We have to mention Logan Diggs. 134 rushes for 24 attempts, 1 touchdown. There's not even a question if he is your running back one anymore. Logan Diggs has basically, I think it's like 4 technically 100-yard games in a row now. I mean, I know one of them was like 96 yards or whatever, but just count that as a 100-yard game because it technically is. He has basically rushed for 100 yards every game he has played since he's been here at LSU. We missed him for the Florida State game big time. Imagine what could have happened had we had him versus Florida State. Who knows? Who knows? Because he has basically been an automatic 100-yard rushing machine. And then today, Jaden Daniels knew he couldn't throw the football. He knew he could throw it, but he couldn't put as much oomph and as violence on the throw as he usually could because of the rib. And so he said, all right, let me get on my bike and ride. That's what I can do, coach. Let me ride. And it was perfect. This is exactly what I would love about this offense. They haven't run Jaden Daniels so much that this type of stuff is easy to stop and easy to see coming. And they knew we would just run it with him or whatever. No. Now it's like LSU have options. Multiple dimensions to hurt a team. And if our defense can actually make some plays like this. Look at this TFL by Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins with an incredible game. I think you'll look at Harold Perkins and you think this is a guy who absolutely needed to step up for LSU in this moment on the road and basically go win this game for the team. And that's what he did. 3 tackles, 2 solos. Doesn't really pop off the screen, but 1 tackle for loss. I swear it was at least 2. 1 interception. Huge game-changing interception. 1 pass breakup and 1 quarterback hit. All of those plays singularly were critical. Like, it doesn't even blow up off the stat sheet, but the eyeball test, Harold Perkins' play absolutely passes that eyeball test. He was the defensive MVP for me just because of all those plays he was making. You look at it, it's kind of interesting, some of the stats here. We've got how many TFLs? LSU finished with the game with 5 tackles for loss. Braden Swinson gets a tackle for loss. Harold Perkins gets 1. Mason Smith gets 1. Whit Weeks with 5 tackles for a solo, 1 tackle for loss in the start because Spates wasn't there. So luckily it meant that Weeks got to start no matter what. LSU finished the game with 2 sacks. Mason Smith with a face mask sack, but Braden Swinson. I mean, we're showing this face mask sack by Mason Smith, and it's kind of ridiculous that wasn't called. But the Braden Swinson play was huge in this game. Huge in this game. We got to get that on the screen. I know we showed it earlier, but we got to emphasize this. Swinson's first sack on the season, forced fumble as well. And it just highlights how much he needs to start for this team. Every time he's out there, he's causing havoc and causing pressure. But while everyone's kind of getting settled here, this game was absolutely nuts. Was it not? Am I just the only one? This game was wild. I'm watching it over again right now as we speak. From front to back, first quarter to end, fourth quarter, this game was just clown shoes. It was wild. The cameramen were terrible even. The refs were god-awful. This refereeing crew were absolutely terrifying. Some of the calls they missed, we just had it on the screen, sorry. This call right here. How is this not called on Braden Swinson? How is that not called? And that's like probably the eighth or ninth time that's happened to Braden Swinson this season already, maybe even more. Like it's so blatant, it's so ridiculous. I don't even have to break that down to you. I don't even have to tell you about that. Like just boom, 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 boom. But that's not even that's just the tip of the iceberg with this game. Okay, Jaden Daniels scores a first quarter touchdown where Jaden Daniels, like half of his body is in the end zone, clearly. And it's not just like forward progress is over and it's been like whistle is dead and he jumps back in or something. He has scored a touchdown definitively, and they don't call it. They make LSU line up and we still score. But had LSU not scored that touchdown on that drive, because of that refereeing decision, we would have lost our third game of this season. Think about that. If LSU do not score that touchdown because of that refereeing decision, and we still just fail to put it in, we lose this game. And that's why you can never just say, hey, these refs are screwing us, and bank on that. You have to find some way to defy these refs and make the enemy for the refs be the Missouri team. And that's exactly what Missouri did. They made themselves easy targets from these refs. Johnny Walker is kicking Emory Jones Jr. in the face for laying on him, pretending like his leg is broken, rolling around, and then he playing the next 2.5 quarters before he gets ejected for another unsportsmanlike. I mean, Missouri were absolutely embarrassing. I'm watching it right now. They're shoving Miles Frazier. They're getting in his face, and Miles Frazier's not having it. He's not having that shit. Like this game was absolutely dirty. It was reckless. It was wild. Missouri were fighting for their SEC lives, and so were LSU. But you just felt like Missouri had a big chip on their shoulder, a big hatred of LSU. Think about who's on LSU's team right now, their roster, how many Missouri guys, and sidelines as well. I understand. I understand why they hate us, but they were absolutely undisciplined, ridiculous, cheap shots everywhere. Even the hit that gets Jaden Daniels hurt. Jaden Daniels has scored. He's gone past a defender, engaged a defender, and he scored. And this guy comes flying in and drills him from behind. No call. No late hit. But they sure like to call some holding or some bullshit on it. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And this play was very key because it allowed a touchdown for Missouri. An obvious false start on the goal line. An obvious false start on the goal line. Delgado flinches right in front of a ref. LSU pointed out even, they called them, run the play right up the middle. LSU gets scored on. But look at this here. Boom. You can see him flinching. The refs even admit it to Brian Kelly, but it doesn't matter. They punch it in, they score a touchdown. This game had it all. You had referees missing touchdowns wide open. You had camera crews like completely out of the play. You had RG3 saying this weird, crazy shit again for the second straight game. I mean, LSU right now it's a roller coaster of a season. It's a bizarre season because this is the circumstances we've been dealt. We've got refereeing crews missing these kind of calls in games against us. We've got these type of commentators. We've got this type of situation is just hilarious to me. Look at that pass from Jaden Daniels. Putting it on a dime for Brian Thomas Jr. That was a huge play for a defense. For an offense that was really poor in that first half. Like, I shouldn't say really poor, but just didn't. I'll take that back. They weren't really productive in that first half. We didn't really score a lot of points. I believe it was 17 points in that first half or something. LSU were down 7-22 at one point. Come from down 15 points again. That is now Jaden Daniels' 8th comeback of 10 plus points or more. It's incredible. What the hell was this game? This game was absolutely ridiculous. Brady Cook is missing wide open screens and then still throwing for almost 400 on us. You even saw Whit Weeks missing plays and then making a ton of plays. And then you saw Mekhi Wingo missing plays and then making tons of plays. You saw, this defense went through every emotion, a lifetime of emotions in one game. This defense went through the gauntlet, and then you got Jaden Daniels getting hurt. You're getting both quarterbacks in the game. It's this game will be remembered for a long time, I think. There were drops all over the place. There were sick plays being made, just burning, just a brilliant offense. It was just there was nice execution at times, and there was awful, hideous kindergarten type plays. This game was very bizarre. You had Eli Drinkwitz making that 4th and 32 call, even, this game just was strange. Bizarre. Clown shoes. Just clown shoe stuff. Post in the comments section what you thought of this absolutely just crazy game and what you thinking about with Jaden Daniels. Hopefully this dude isn't hurt for long because we're screwed if he is. We are absolutely screwed if Jaden Daniels is hurt. They called the same damn play right there. He drops one on the same guy to the same dude. Weiss Jr. versus Zy Alexander. They call the same damn play to open that scoring. Right over top, right over his head. If he turns around, he gets a pass breakup. If he turns like that, he's hitting the pass. He's hitting the ball. And yet, somehow, this defense battled their brains out to the point where they were able to hold Missouri under 40 somehow. Which, if I were to bet on that, I would have been like, no. Even though I predicted a 44-31 win, I knew how bad Missouri were. If you look at their 5-0, if you had actually looked through their 5-0 schedule instead of just looking at the record, this is a team that were winning games in the most luckiest fashions possible. Escape artist type games. Kansas State, that game was absolutely like the pinnacle of what they did, and that was number 15 Kansas State. The rest of it was absolutely abject. and it's abysmal, and it's just mediocrity. And you saw that today. 11 penalties from Missouri, just killing penalties, just back-breaking penalties, drive-killing penalties. And they let LSU right back in this thing when they had a 15-point lead. I don't know if you can really even. I mean, this reminded me of Joe Burrow getting hit by Skalski. Remember the James Skalski showdown, where James Skalski in the Clemson game was spying Joe Burrow basically for that whole game in that national title, and he absolutely hits Joe right before halftime. Joe kind of baits him in, like, I'm going to run this thing, and then baits him in, and then he throws it at Thad Moss for the touchdown. And it was a back-breaking touchdown for Clemson. Had LSU not scored another point, they would have still won that game. But obviously they continued to score in that second half. But the point is, Joe does that, baits him in, gets his rib absolutely just screwed up by Skalski. And Skalski was able to stay in the game, of course, and was able to keep hitting people like crazy full force until he made that targeting on Jordan, on Justin Jefferson, that helmet to helmet in the third quarter. And I think the refs were wanting to throw him out for the Joe Burrow play, but they knew they couldn't. And it was a football play. It was a clean play, but still, like, Joe had ice water in his veins working out there on that bench, on that bike, all throughout halftime. I was like, this is like his Michael Jordan moment. This is nuts. And Joe was able to gut through that pain, which is unimaginable pain. When you've got that rib and you can barely breathe, and you're playing football through this shit. It's not okay. It's not good. It doesn't feel good. The piercing is unbelievable. You saw Jaden Daniels basically recreate that moment, not on the same stage, not against the same opponent, not for the same stakes, but it kept LSU's season alive. I mean, my God, if LSU had lost this game, the Tigers' goals are over. And it would have been a real damn shame, because LSU, this is a season where the entire SEC is poor. This is a season where you've got Alabama, who have no clue what they're doing as a team. They could lose this game to A&M. I wouldn't be shocked. This is a season where Georgia could lose one or two games. This is a season where, there are so many different things about the SEC that are just troubling that LSU could absolutely take advantage of this season. And it is absolutely shocking to me that we have 2 losses. And we just almost escaped. We just escaped our third. I mean, my God. This is a wild roller coaster season. I told you all it would be. I told you all there would be shootouts. I predicted LSU would win the national championship with 1 loss. I didn't predict we'd lose 2 games already. But I'm going to say this right here now. LSU's goals of winning a national championship are not off the table. I know that sounds nuts. That sounds crazy to say right now. I mean it from the bottom of my cold purple and gold heart. LSU are not out of this. Because of how bad the rest of the SEC is, if LSU can finish undefeated, win the SEC, they will be in the college football playoff. Especially when you look at how it's not like the Pac-12 are so dominant. It's unbelievable. It's not like all these other, conferences are so unbelievably dominant. You would have 0 SEC teams. The SEC champion will be in the college football playoff. You can bet your ass on that. And so, if LSU were to let this opportunity pass them by, where you can even mess around, you can screw around, you can lose 2 games before October, and your goals are actually still on the table. That's how bad this season is. Yeah. If LSU were to just chalk away this opportunity, it would be disturbing. It would be disturbing beyond belief. Just got a cool text from an LSU coach. I just told him that's how we do it, coach. Sorry, I had to reply to some of those. Wow, some stuff. Let's go through some of these numbers. Let's go through some of these numbers. This post game, I cannot believe that LSU we're literally repeated the offense from the Ole Miss performance and still won this game. It's just we made just enough plays. It was really just that bad. LSU allowed over 500 yards of offense. Once again, 527 passing, 527 total yards, 395 passing yards to Brady Cook, as we said before. 132 on the ground. We still let them, screw around. That Schrader guy went for 114 and 3 touchdowns off just 13 carries on us for 8.8. That's insane. That Schrader guy was probably their best offensive player against us. 3 touchdowns, 114, 8.8 average. Are you kidding me? LSU got shredded on the ground. But here's where they really screwed up. 11 penalties, 4 of 11 on third down. They averaged those 7.8 yards per play against us, 13.2 yards per completion, 6.3 per rush. They went 4-4 in the red zone. Wow. Here is where the difference was. 2 turnovers, the 2 interceptions, the 2 fumbles, the 2 sacks, the 5 tackles for loss from LSU, the Jaden Daniels factor, and the fact that we rushed for almost 100 more yards. Almost over 150 more yards than they did. So you had our defense playing better, having that edge. You had Jaden Daniels rushing for 130 plus throwing for 259. I mean, ridiculous. Ridiculous. You have to say that Jaden Daniels is the true MVP of this game in totality, no matter what. Harold Perkins, you could say defensive MVP with that pick starting things. Major Burns with the awesome feel-good pick because, that kid's had so much go against him this season. And to have him have that moment, if you don't feel good for him, you don't have a soul. Awesome play from Braden Swinson to force that fumble, get his first sack as a Tiger as well. You know, the stats tell us a lot of interesting things. They tell us that LSU got destroyed. We got burnt all over the field, but also what they say, we made the plays that mattered to edge this team, to make the difference in a crazy, wild game on the road where the referees were taking touchdowns from us, where opponents were kicking us, uh, where the cameramen were tripping on acid, where we were making terrible missed tackles everywhere, left, right, and center. Where Luther Burden went for how much? How much did Luther Burden go for us? Luther Burden went for 149 and 11 on us. We predicted he would go for 150 on us, so we held him to 1 yard under my predicted expectation. And you know what? Most of those yards, I think, were in that first half. I know he had 70 within that first quarter. I know he had a few more plays. I know he at least had over 100 to end that first quarter. Malik Neighbors with a big game. 6 catches, 6 gutty catches, 146, 1 touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. with that 42-yard bomb touchdown over the top. Mason Taylor scoring his, I think, second touchdown of the season there. Second straight game that he's been on the score sheet. But, you know, there were some drops. There were some bad drops. You know, Malik had just a really lazy drop, his first drop of the season, going on a crosser route where it was just an easy, 8-yard reception there, and maybe even more if you catch that thing and run. And then you got Brian Thomas Jr. doing basically the same thing but it's on a third down where he has to make that catch and make that move, and he makes the move before he makes the catch, and yeah. But still, all in all, solid games from them. Malik Neighbors, though, 146, 6 catches. Another big game from this guy. Another big game. Gotta get the diapers for the Sadie. Another monster performance from Malik Neighbors. What is this? 6 touchdowns now for him, and then Brian Thomas Jr. has 9 on the season. My God. See what we got here for Malik Neighbors' stats going into this game. I believe he was at 6 touchdowns. Yeah, he's at 5 touchdowns, 625, 5 touchdowns. Wow. I thought Malik Neighbors really had some big time gutty catches for us. Over the middle, right when we needed it, right when we had to have it. The touchdown, of course, the wide open touchdown. That was crazy too, watching Diggs punch that in. We had to have that first touchdown on that first drive where they missed that. They missed Jaden Daniels being wide open, scoring right before your eyes. Right before your eyes. How could you miss this play? How could you miss this play? Like, Greg Sankey has to review this thing because Jaden Daniels almost got his head taken off on the next play. Like, there's a consequence because you miss these. How can you miss this? I'm watching it again, and it just makes me so angry how they missed this. How is this not a touchdown? Let's watch this again here. He's clearly in the end zone. I cannot fathom how this refereeing crew would be able to ref another SEC game this season. They were so terrible. They lost control of this game early. They let cheap shots and dirty play go throughout the game, mostly from Missouri. But they missed touchdown plays like this. They missed the false start from Delgado, which we showed, that allowed Missouri a touchdown. They miss a wide open Jaden Daniels score right here. And his helmet gets taken off on the damn play on this next play right here that they also miss. 22 penalties. They really wanted to be at the center of the focus for us, didn't they? They really wanted to be at the center of our attention for this game, these referees. They really wanted to decide this game. I felt like these refs wanted their imprints, their fingerprints over every play. If there was a play that went by where there wasn't a flag thrown, I was shocked. I mean, there were flags thrown that they would pick up and say, there was no flag. And then they would say these, what was the disconcerting signals? Disconcerting signals from blah, blah, blah. Disconcerting signals from number 15. Like, because someone was clapping, trying to imitate the snap. I mean, like, I've never even heard that in my life. Maybe I'm just don't watch enough football. But I swear to God, I've never heard that called twice in a game. Happened twice in a game. These refs were looking to call anything. The second this game was called, was the whistle was blown for kickoff. These referees were like, "Sweet, this is going to be fun because we're going to be calling everything here." I mean, they couldn't. They just they love to blow that whistle. Every second they're blowing. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm watching it again. I'm like, "Yep." If LSU do not score on that first drive to answer that opening score where Missouri just walked down the field against us, just walk down, and you think, oh, this is going to be a fucking track meet again. And then they get a 2-point conversion too, and Eli Drinkwitz is on the sideline like, yeah, yeah, like it's that okay, it's on. They're coming for us. They want to knock us out here in the first quarter if they can. If this team can, they will end us here in this first half if we're not careful. Like, it was very, very scary. And you knew, I knew, Jaden Daniels knew, everyone knew. If LSU do not score on this first drive, they probably lose this game. And that's what it would have come down to. LSU would have lost this game had they not scored on that first drive. That's how close this game was. The score may indicate the LSU won by 10 points. It was far tighter than that. But Jaden Daniels was part of the reason it wasn't. I mean, my God, what a performance. Anybody watching this, let me know what you thought of Jaden Daniels. Are you kidding me? This is a performance that they're going to remember for a long time with Jaden Daniels. 259 plus the 130. 389 total yards of offense for Jaden Daniels. I hate that the sack yardage takes those rushing yards away from him because he would have over probably 150. Doing it with the injury, and you saw him after the game. The game's over, and he's just hanging out there on the sideline, just like looking like he's going to be fine for next week. I think we might not even have to have anything to worry about with that rib injury. Are you kidding me, Jaden Daniels? He is absolutely made of steel, this kid. Damn, that ball was on the field a couple times, and LSU could not get a recovery there. Luckily, thank God we got 2 interceptions, because if we didn't, we don't win this game. I mean, that's what it comes down to. LSU, these 2 interceptions win this game. Jaden Daniels, like, LSU had to have everything to edge Missouri, who were terrible as well. Like, this game had it all. You saw the best of Missouri. You saw the worst of Missouri. You saw the best of LSU. You saw the worst of LSU. You saw the worst refereeing crew in the SEC. The most fast-paced game you'll probably see all weekend. Um, just ridiculous pace to proceedings. You could barely even process a moment. It was just crazy fast. Boom, 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 boom. And this has happened for a few weeks with LSU. You feel like you're on meth watching the game. It's insane. The Ole Miss game felt like that too. It was just fast as hell, nonstop, in your face, pedal to the metal. Both offenses just out of control. This game had a little bit more ebb and flow to it, but still just as fast paced as well. In times where it's just nonstop. Yeah, Luther Burden had 89 yards and 4 catches with 142 left in the first quarter on us. Good God. Luther Burden had basically 100 yards on us in a quarter. Like, are you? That's why we said we know he's going to get his on us. It's, can we make those plays? Can we man up and make those plays? LSU did it. That's what we needed. Just survive this game. Just survive this damn game. There's a big catch right there on Sage Ryan. You know, not his best game. I'm a big fan of Sage Ryan, but not his best game. He went for the strip on a play and forgot that he also needs to make sure he tackles the guy and missed the ball. And the guy goes for 25 yards after that. He got caught on a few times for, not too many yards. And he was far from the worst defender. Far from the worst defender. I don't really think that anyone was like the worst guy out there tonight. I think, you could say maybe some cover guys, but at the same time, I think as a defense, the team defense just needed to man up at these certain moments and just win this game, get us over the line, whatever it takes. And that's why you saw Harold Perkins standing up, manning up. And I know Mason Smith's been under the radar. And I know Mason Smith deserves a lot of criticism for all the, mano-a-mano fighting on the offensive and defensive line. He's just fighting these offensive linemen instead of actually like getting beyond them, shedding blockers. He's having these scores to settle, and after every play, he's kind of going like, and it's kind of annoying. Still, he stood up in this game and had his best game of the season right after Pete Jenkins, the 82-year-old's arrival. Mason Smith gets his first sack of the season, gets his first sack in probably like 2 years. This is his first sack since the Florida game. So that's crazy. Let me put that down. Where's Florida? Can't spell Florida. Join us all for the post-game show, and seriously, if you're watching this thing and you're, because I can see there's some of you watching, say something. I don't want to be the only one talking. I shouldn't be the only one talking. Why do you want to just hear my voice? I don't want to just hear my voice. Shit, why am I even doing this? Yeah, but don't just let me be the only one talking. Say something, for Christ's sake. This was an absolutely bizarre, wild game. Filled with crazy college football whimsy and magic. And I know that people are probably going to be watching the, Alabama A&M game right now, and that makes sense to me. We've got that on another screen as well. But I just love LSU football too much. And this game, this win was huge. This win was big for the program because we needed to come back from what happened last week. Last week was disgrace. Last week was as terrible as it gets for LSU. This is a program that prides itself on defense. This is a program that has always said you can come in here, but you may not leave intact. Like, we're the Hotel California. You can take it in anytime you want, but you may never leave. Like, we're gonna take part of your soul in your face if you come into our house. But you know what? You've seen a really soft trend at LSU over the last few years, and it hasn't just been with one coach. It's been with two now, with Orgeron and Kelly, and it's ugly. It's ugly to see, and it's been in high-profile moments. We saw it against Florida State. We see it against Ole Miss. We see it, today against Missouri, of course, but, you've seen it against probably about 6, 7 different teams in 2020, against UCLA in 2021, even 2018 against A&M in that game, one in the 70s, against UCF. There's just been some really Ole Miss in 2019. Like I could find different ones all over the place LSU have had in the last few years. The defense has been bad in a trend perspective. Whether Burrow has been there, whether Jaden Daniels has been there, whether it's been Miles, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the quarterback. LSU have had bad defenses for going on 4 years now, 5 years. And some seasons maybe not bad, but suspect. Last year was an apex of defense in that period. Last year was probably the best because that defense got you back in games. That 2022 defense was able to keep you alive, get you the ball back, create turnovers, score points. This defense is so reminiscent of 2013, where Mettenberger, OBJ, and them are just having to go, all up against them. We basically are having to play against two defenses every game, basically. That's what that 2013 defense reminded me of. And now you've got this 2023 defense 10 years later, a decade later, and it's almost the same carbon copy type of defense. So I find that hilarious that here we are again 10 years later, and you've got a defense that is so eerily reminiscent of that 2013 season. So bizarre. But when it mattered, when this defense had to have it for us, they showed up today. And that's all I care about. But we've got to make it easier on Jaden Daniels as the season goes along, because he's going to keep taking hits. He's going to keep taking punches right to the face. He's not going to stay down, and that's the thing again about him. He's not going to quit. He's not going to give up, and so he's going to get hurt if he's going to get knocked out of a game. LSU's defense have to step up and stop putting it all on this kid. It's too much. He can't do every single damn thing. You have to make some damn stops. Hold the team under 35 next week. That's the goal. Hold them under 35. The goal this week, hold them under 40. Okay, you did it with 39. This week, hold them under 35. We get the win. I was absolutely disgusted with this game for a while. I was absolutely enraged. Tiger's Den is in. What's up? What's up, my man? He says, I just don't get it. The defense is so bad, but so glad our old fence can carry us to wins. You mean our offense? Our old fence. Okay, I read that wrong. Our old fence. Here's the thing. Our offense obviously carried us through to this victory. But without our defense kind of punching it in, this game was still hanging in the balance, bro. This game was still teetering and tottering, and we needed someone to kind of answer and say, yeah, we're going to shut this thing down right now. And that was, Major Burns. That was Braden Swinson. The Braden Swinson play basically shut the door, made it impossible. Ooh, Max Johnson. Is that to Jake Johnson? Yep. Wow. The Johnson brothers. Holy crap. And then Juker just gave it to that Bama dude. Oh my God, that's awesome. Jake Johnson, Max Johnson. Wow. The brothers combine. Unbelievable. They combine against Alabama. Hopefully they don't call anything on this play because that was beautiful. That was a great throw from Max. Please don't call anything on that. They'll probably call taunting on Juker. Yep, they called it taunting on Jake Johnson. Which is like, come on. Let the kid have some fun. Who cares? And he's absolutely melting because he got destroyed brother to brother. This is a crazy play. This is sick. Nice throw by Max Johnson. That was sick. I love it, Juker. I love it. I love it. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh my God. We're gonna tag Jake Johnson in that. We still talk to him. We still stay in contact with Jake Johnson and his family. Max, Big Bad Brad the most, and Juker. That's a play that's gonna make those parents go absolutely crazy. Wow. Unbelievable. Huh, Sage? What a win for us, huh? LSU win 49-39. Shut the door on Missouri. It was a crazy, crazy game. Yeah, Daniels getting hurt. Nussmeier coming in at one point. Logan Diggs going off. Jaden Daniels rushing for over 130, throwing for 259. 4 touchdowns total. Neighbors going off. He had Brian Thomas Jr. dropping passes, then scoring another bomb, his 9th touchdown of the season. You saw Mason Taylor getting his shoulder messed up, but staying in there and scoring a touchdown. We gave up over 500 on defense yet again. Almost 400 through the air. Over 100 on the ground. Missouri had 11 penalties. Missouri were 4 of 11 on third down. They were actually terrible. But we let them just rack up yards, rack up points, get in a rhythm, get in a beautiful offensive display where they were disjointed as well at times. I mean, they were terrible. Missouri really were abjectly terrible as a team, undisciplined, making crazy decisions, 4th and 32 to go for it. Some of the things that Missouri did were just so bizarre. And a team that it speaks to a team that hasn't been there before at a 5-0 precipice and going, are you going to keep climbing or are you going to go falling off? And they obviously went falling off down below because they were up 7-22. 15-point lead, and they threw it away to LSU. They let Jaden Daniels get back in this game while hurt. They let him run on them while hurt. We put up 533 more 3 yards to their 527, 6 more yards of offense than them. I mean, look at how dead even some of these categories are. The only category that really LSU took over at was in the rushing game, 274 to 132. Everything else is like dead even. They threw for 140 more through the air as well, though. So they threw for 140 more. We basically rushed for 140 more than they did. So you got that kind of trade over there. LSU controlled the game, controlled the tempo more on the ground. They were able to get more explosive plays through the air. You thought that might be kind of different, and maybe vice versa. But LSU still got their big explosive plays through the air. They still made the plays when it counted. Malik Neighbors punching in, Brian Thomas punching it in. But this game is about Logan Diggs and Jaden Daniels controlling the tempo, rushing all over the place. What up, buddy? What up, Sage? Want to say hi? Want to say hi, buddy? What up, Sage? What up? One second.
No.
We're going to be staying on here for quite a bit here longer because it's a crazy college football day. And we're going to probably stay on for a bit, probably about another hour here. So lock in with us. I want your complete thoughts on this crazy game. Sage and his mom are going to be running off here in a second to the Fear Factory, to the wild denizens of the haunted house world. Malik Neighbors, 146, 6 catches. I just love that stat line from him. He was big on third downs. Let's take a look here. I want to see his passing chart here from Malik. Malik catches one on 2nd and 4. Let's put the share screen on so you guys can see this as well. Let's get it off that one though. And put the other one on here. Oh yeah. Love you. Where was I going to put on? What was I going to do? Oh, here we go. Okay. Look at this passing chart. You know, not as many as I expected to be on critical downs. I don't even think there's any on critical downs there. There's just like a bunch of like 2nd and 8 and stuff. Like everything that's on critical downs didn't seem to be completed. That's why you always need to check your stuff out before you just say, "Oh, he was huge on critical downs." Well, like yeah, 2nd and 4. I guess you want to get that obviously, but it's not 3rd and 4. It's not 3rd and 7. 1st and 10. Incomplete. 2nd and 7, you get that 11 yards, 1st down. So a lot of 2nd and 8 stuff here as well. 2nd and 8, 21. That's a great play. 2nd down, you go to Malik. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7. because you got to get yards on that play, but you obviously just want to get a first down. You had a somewhat negative or less positive play on the first play. Going to Malik on second down is a great high percentage play call. Quick slant, bullet the blue sky, get him right in the rib cage. He gets even 5-6 yards with someone on top of him. So it's a high percentage play. You're going to get close to that first down marker no matter what. And you're likely going to get a 21-yard play, a 15-yard play, as we can see from this passing chart. My son does not like getting buckled in his thing. He's going nuts. 1 second. Let me say goodbye to them. Give us your comments now, God damn it, because this was a crazy damn game, and we need all of your thoughts about how LSU stayed in this thing, because we kept our season alive here. I had to get some bacon as well. Oh my God. So it looks like A&M are going to maybe not beat Alabama, but at least challenge them here. At least beat the crap out of them. If Alabama are going to win this game, they're going to have to really earn this thing. This is not going to come easy for them. Max Johnson looks ready to ball. So when you look at SEC, LSU, if they had lost this game today, it would be hard for me to stomach my disappointment because and just anger and wrath because LSU would be throwing away such a huge opportunity, such a gilt-edged, easy opportunity. The weakest this conference has been in perhaps a decade. And you throw that opportunity away. I don't think I would have been able to really stomach it. I don't think you would have been able to stomach it. And so luckily LSU's defense made the plays necessary to shut the door, close that damn thing, and just say, you are not going to come back on us. You let us come back by down by 15. The Grim Reaper is back. We're going nowhere. You're Missouri. You are going to stay in the basement of the SEC where you belong. And guess what? Oklahoma and Texas are coming in to the conference now too, Mizzou. So you might even want to be considering some options for your future because the SEC is going to be an increasingly difficult place for you to be. Although Eli Drinkwitz has a lot of talent as a coach, and he's already beaten LSU before. This is LSU just getting even, really. This is LSU just getting revenge for the pandemic season. This is a score I've wanted to settle for 3 years here now. For 200 years, I have wanted to reclaim my manhood and emasculation at the hands of Eli Drinkwitz. How to spell his name? 99 out of 100 men know not. All right. Love you. Unbelievable. LSU stay alive in the SEC, but they do it. You know, we may have paid a price with Jaden Daniels' the injury. I just, you hate to see that he's getting any type of injury this early in the season. Like, what the hell's going on? This game, I mean, this season's going to be a roller coaster. I knew that. But the fact that it is this crazy, this early, and you knew it was going to be the second we lost to Florida State when it just threw all the expectations into chaos. And it really, actually, it's not even losing to Florida State. It's losing to Florida State like we did. Because say if we lost to Florida State by like 3 points or a blocked PAT again, you know, like something like gut-wrenching last second, like whatever. If we had lost like that, it would not have thrown our season into chaos as much as it had the way we did. The way it was so glaring that our defense is dog shit. And then when you saw our defense look terrible against Grambling as well, that's when you knew something was really wrong. Something was really not right. Because you knew, okay, that's Keon Coleman, that's Florida State are in the ascendancy right now. Okay, we'll recover from this. You saw us getting burned and sauced and turned inside out, flipped around, absolutely pimped out by Grambling. You knew something was up. Good Lord, Max Johnson is just throwing it on a line to Evan Stewart. I think that is. No, it's Muhammad the third. Wow, I mean, he is wheeling and a dealing. Wheeling and a dealing, stealing and a squealing, big jam. It's a Ween reference for all of you rock and roll fans. But wow, Max Johnson playing really high caliber football here. 10-10 in the second quarter with this A&M game. Hopefully you all are enjoying your Saturday now that LSU have reclaimed their revenge from 2020 against Missouri. You know, I get it. A lot of people want to say, you know, that defense is so terrible and want to go off on that defense and want to really let that defense have it again. But I tell you what, man, I actually feel some pride for what they did. I know that's crazy. That's crazy to say, right? But I just feel like the interceptions, the sacks, the batted passes at the line, like there was just some things at certain moments that it's like, okay, that's LSU football. I can see it. I can see it again. I can see a flicker there. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Emory Jones. The guy who kicks Emory Jones gets kicked out later in the game. No way. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Jaden Daniels, my God. Oh, wait. Harold Hibbard says he's watching the post game. What's up, Harold? What's up, my guy? I hope you're enjoying it. I know we haven't been at our best. We no Sage, but maybe we're just not able to encapsulate how wild and crazy this game is as well as we can with our writing. That's the thing, you guys. I'm sorry. We're doing our best here. We write a lot better than we speak. We can write like so much better than we could speak. And I know some of you are probably frustrated by that. You wish our post games would be better. We're trying our best, but I think there's also times that we just kind of go for it and just what happens is going to happen, and we try and keep it as coherently, you know. See, here I am again. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now. I don't even know why I'm going into this. A&M are up 17-10. This is kind of a funny game to watch because you hate both teams. You're like, fuck both teams, but you know, who do we want to win this game? There's a Louisiana guy, Moss, right there, Le'Veon Moss, right? LSU didn't need him today. We had Logan Diggs, another Louisiana guy. Louisiana guy who actually likes to play for a Louisiana team. Although, you know, I don't really have any beef with why Moss left. I believe a friend of his got murdered, you know. Bacon, baby, bacon. LSU beat Mizzou. I am pumped. I'm pumped. This is a game we needed. We had to have at any cost, no matter what, no matter no matter what it took, no matter how ugly. And this was how it had to be. But the game was so crazy. The cheap shot on Jaden Daniels. I don't know how these referees can get on a field and ref another game this season. They were so terrible. Never seen anything like how bad they were in this game. Literally missing touchdowns, missing wide open, obvious holds. Like this is unlike anything I have ever seen with refereeing crew. Like the amount of points, the amount of effect they could have had on the game, the amount that they actually did have on the game, it's astounding. And there's one point, even the cameraman looks like he's fucked up. It's like, did you guys give him mimosas at like 6 in the morning? What the hell's going on here? How drunk are you guys covering this game? Like, it was nuts. It was nuts. But you know what? This team got the victory for number 3, which is what matters. You can see in the description of this video, we have the official link for the donation at LSU Sports official site for Greg Brooks Jr.'s donation for his family. This is not an LSU Odyssey affiliation in any way. This is completely LSU and Greg Brooks Jr. affiliated, 100%. You can see from the link below No one gets a percentage of this at all except for the Greg Brooks Jr. family, which is exactly what you want, exactly how it should be set up, and exactly what you're seeing. This is crazy because, you got Wingo, Markway, J.K. Johnson even, who is unavailable but still traveling with the team. And then you got Steeples, cornerbacks coach, all from the St. Louis, from that Missouri area, coming back into enemy territory for this game. And you can tell it had an effect. I think it had an effect. I don't think we saw Mekhi Wingo play that well. And I'm shocked to say that. But, I think he would be proud of me for saying that, because I think there's a lot of times people kiss the ass of athletes they talk to. But I've always told the athletes I talk to that I'm going to be honest to them. So I'm going to be honest to you. How can I tell Mekhi Wingo that I thought he had a great game? Maybe he did. I need to watch it and see it. But from what I saw, I don't think he did. He had that great play where he throws that guy back with a lot of strength on the goal line. That's the only play I saw him make all game. And we needed Mekhi today. Luckily, we had other guys stepping up, but maybe Mekhi is in there doing all the dirty work, and I'm just not seeing it. I don't know how podcasters do it, not blowing their nose for 2 hours, not going to the bathroom for 2 hours. Like, what are they doing? What's underneath that desk? Are they like this giant, like, piss cup? And like, there's people who, like, never drink water, never drink any. Like, how are you doing this? It's like, maybe that's why I suck at streaming, because I constantly need to, like, blow my nose or drink water, or I have to go to the bathroom randomly or something, and I'll be gone for like 30 seconds or whatever. Maybe that's why we try and do this as cool as we can. I mean, we basically broke down that Ole Miss game with that film the last time we did this, and I love doing that. That was exactly what I've always wanted to do with this medium. That's exactly what I think you should do. Of course, we got a copyright strike for doing it, which is ridiculous. Which is stupid. But whatever. We're going to keep doing it. Pick six by Major Burns. I love it. First pick six since Micah Baskerville, right? Micah Baskerville, and then who else had a pick six before that? Or that's another defensive touchdown. Jay Ward had one versus Auburn. Oh wait, no. I know. Frank Wilson's son. Frank Wilson the fourth had that pick six against Purdue. So LSU have actually scored some defensive touchdowns a lot of people forget about lately. What a pick. Love that pick six by Major Burns. I love that the defense are the guys who, like, shut the door on this game. Like, yes, Jaden's, like, unbelievable run right here with a messed up rib really was the platform to, like, give the defense that confidence and that space with that lead. But the game is still tight. This thing is still not even close to over, and you've got to shut the door. You gotta slam this thing shut. Don't you dare allow Luther Bird and Brady Cook to get back in this game. I thought they were going to for a second. I thought, oh my God, this defense is literally going to let Jaden Daniels lose this game after everything he has done. They're literally going to screw this game up for him. I thought this is crazy. There's no way that this is going to happen. There's no way, after he's making that type of a run with a messed up rib cage, that you're going to screw this thing up. But they did. And you thought, oh my God, LSU have no way out of this. They're going to get the ball to start the second half too. Oh my God. And then LSU started holding them to field goals. Getting these little victories here and there, and just stacking little victories. And then they'd allow a touchdown, but then they'd get another kind of a little stop. Then they'd get another turnover, and then Harold Perkins with the pick, like another punt. LSU just grinded and grinded and grinded on defense, and just fought tooth and nail against all of their deficiencies, against all their porous coverage. Over 400 yards, 395 through the air, 527 total. Just getting gashed on the ground by Schrader, shredding us. I mean, it's LSU had it all against them in this game. 22-7 deficit before you could blink. Is it just me, or was the pace of the game like out of control? It felt like the game was wild, was feverish, was crazy, and just reckless with abandon and wild late hits. And we saw, of course, a couple of guys getting ejected. Mason Taylor was involved a lot more in this game. I know his stats won't say that out loud, but he caught the ball in a few big-time plays, and I love the play design on that. He's motioning, and right when they snap it, he's like running with Jaden, and he just flips it out. Like, that was sick. That was a beautiful play design. That pass right there. Oh, ridiculous from Daniels. Some of the K says, long with this offense going like a well-oiled machine, LSU has a chance to win every game on the schedule from here on out. I know the defense can't stop a damn feather from falling in the air, but with 5 back there, LSU will be in every game. I don't care who the opponent is. Hell yeah, I agree. But oh my God, it's going to be like nail-biting and insane and just crazy because LSU are going to allow so many points, and it's never going to feel safe. You will never feel safe with a lead with this LSU defense. Aiden Daniels could put up. Well, although here's the thing. Once Daniels gets a 10-point, 17-point lead offensively, well, okay, yeah, they can keep scoring, but Daniels is going to keep scoring too. So, I mean, there is that. There is that as well. There's that caveat as well. So, remember, this offense can outscore pretty much probably everyone out there. So, it is very realistic that LSU could finish this season undefeated and get back into the playoff if you win the SEC. Because you'll have beaten all these important top 10 ranked teams on the way to doing that. But at the same time, the SEC is so weak this season, and we have to take advantage. You will never get this opportunity again, I think, in the Kelly era for an SEC to be this weak. Never. You will never get this chance again, especially when we're about to go into a new era in the SEC. We're about to go into a whole new era of SEC football with Oklahoma coming in. So, you can't mess around and find out. You got to take advantage now. I don't know if LSU can do it. I don't know if LSU can put that type of run together. And if they do, my God, how can our hearts take this thing? How can our bodies accept such a beating, such a crazy topsy-turvy season? Let's Let's don't kill ourselves here with this season. 2007 was insane enough. 2007 had so many ridiculous finishes. It was absolutely bizarre. 2 losses, you still get in. It's just in the BCS era. It's just something I don't think you'll ever see again until this season. This season kind of changed my view on us seeing that again because everyone is so weak. The parity is so there. There is, I mean, maybe not weak isn't the best word, but maybe it's just so competitive. And teams really are unpredictable. Here's that interception from Harold Perkins. Game-changing play if you will ever find one. Bonk. What a easy pick. Great coverage, though, by Harold Perkins, especially at the linebacker position, but terrible throw from Brady Cook. Horrible. Like, what the hell was he thinking? And then Kelly and Harold are discussing the schematics of the John Deere NIL contract. BK will get that joke. Look at that pick by Parker. It's so sick. That's his second interception, and both of his interceptions have been critical in games that LSU needed the win and got the win in. The Auburn game last year, and now this pick in this game. I love it. I love it. Harold Perkins with another interception. I love this guy. And Logan Diggs, man, he ran the ball tough all game. This was a huge run from him early in this game. I thought he was gone, but he saw that guy got off the block from Lacey, and so he kind of curved a little bit. I think had he just shoot to the right there, kind of hesitate and then go to the right there, he's gone. Because there's no way that guy will be crossed. There's no way he's going back there. He's going to run into Lacey, too, if he goes back to that right. He's gone. I don't know. Maybe that guy gets him. But Logan Diggs was awesome. And we had a feeling when LSU got him in the transfer portal that this kid would be a special player for LSU. Just there's something about his arrival. There's something about Frank Wilson's involvement and just desperate, like, we have to get you. And, like, Diggs was all in. It wasn't like you really had to, like, sell. He was ready to come. I mean, he had already, think about it, he had already committed to Brian Kelly once before, like he'd already committed out of the state of Louisiana to a Brian Kelly program. So coming back from Notre Dame to Louisiana, coming home, I mean, his family were loving that idea. I mean, he had 354 for 57 on 57 carries and 3 touchdowns coming into this game. Tonight, you can add, 134? What happened to my stats? Oh my God, my stats. No. There we go. Diggs is like his average per carry is absolutely off the hook. 5.6 per carry from Logan Diggs, so that 34-yard run that you just barely saw. 24 attempts, 134 yards total. Holy crap. And then he had, 354 coming in. So he's got 488 on the season with his 4th touchdown. 488. How many carries did he have today? I bet it was just barely 24. So that's the most carries I think he's gotten since he's been at LSU. 24. Oh, wait, no, wait. Yep, 81, 488. He is averaging 6.02 yards per carry this season. Good Lord, Logan Diggs. Bryant Swinson just responded to my message. His son just had his first LSU sack. James Brown, Jalen Brown's son. I mean, Jalen Brown is his son. Awesome guy, James. Also messaging me. You gotta love hearing from the Tiger fraternity. You know, the family. Ryan Yates' father got some messages. You know, he's Ryan Yates got caught on a few times today. Good Lord. Logan Diggs really controlled a lot of the tempo of this game. I think our defense doesn't stand a damn chance if we're actually playing a top offense that can really keep the tempo going. They don't have stupid drops like Missouri did, you know. If they can really like Ole Miss us, and you know, we even lost the Ole Miss game on the last play too, you know, like we should have been ran out of that building, really. But it just shows how the will to win from this offense and Jaden Daniels. But like our defense today showed in kind their own will to win. They got it together with you know, that was some great plays on third down for LSU in this game. Look at that. 4 of 11 on third down for Missouri. That was a problem down for them. LSU got it going on that down. They forced punts. The 2 turnovers, the 2 interceptions, big time. The sacks, only 2 of them. They're LSU. I am shocked. I am shocked. Yo, I don't even know if I'm really watching what I should be. It's like, am I really seeing this? Am I really seeing this? Is LSU's pressure really this bad? Because it looks like we're just up against this wall and just like, ah, 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 oh, oh, ah, 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 ah. Like, there's just no way we're getting past them. There's no way we're getting past them. Like there's just no way. Ah, swim under you. Like we're getting held left and right. The referees are getting involved and just like not even throwing flags. They don't give a shit. Um, this was a wild game because LSU should have lost this game. Missouri should have ran us out of the building. Blake Baker's defense is terrible. And I love how, he was getting all these salutes from LSU throughout the week. Yeah, we should have kept you, man. We should have kept you. Yeah. He's getting his ass kissed on the Jordy Culotta show by those guys. And it's kind of funny because his defense played softer than LSU's. And sure, yeah, the rate of athlete is a lot different. LSU shouldn't be playing anywhere near this soft. They should be like, come on. But, you know, I think the congratulations of Blake Baker almost giving him responsible kudos for Harold Perkins' recruitment is a little outrageous. There's people who are ready to say, yeah, bring him back. He should be our DC. Like, I really think the intense criticism of Matt House is absolutely ridiculous. I think Matt House is the last guy that needs to be up against the wall. I get why he is. He's the defensive coordinator. The buck stops with him, right? And I think that having everybody 10 yards off is fucking ridiculous. Playing the same guys over and over is fucking ridiculous. It's unacceptable. I don't know why he does it. I don't understand why they don't play the right guys. Deshaun Womack is nowhere to be found. Ovia Gofu is starting, stuff like that. But is he a victim of what LSU's roster is, the realities of the roster? Or is he, sabotaging LSU by not playing certain guys? You could argue both, I think. But I feel Matt House being given zero leeway this early after what he proved, what he did last season when our offense was abjectly abysmal, I think is a little bit of a disservice. All of you were saying, this guy should win a Broyles Award, just like 3 months ago. And now you're ready to like fire the guy. I think it's a little disingenuous, a little ridiculous. And I think the lack of any cohesive pressure off from the defensive line, I think the lack of fight from the players, the lack of execution, and actually like, let's just put it this way, mental capacity to understand their damn assignments from the defensive backfield, I think that has absolutely made him, it's pulled his pants down and embarrassed him, made him look bad. But it might not be his fault, is what I'm trying to say. Schematically, he might be doing everything, working with everyone to make sure that they understand their keys and what they have to do on every damn play. But then somewhere along the line, there's some type of breakdown in communication, breakdown in execution, breakdown in skill. Or maybe they're just not able to pay attention enough to who are the best players on this team. Who are my best guys? You put 4 out there, and the starting 4, Ovi Ogofu, Wingo, Smith, Savion Jones. Are those your best 4? I argue on the edge, no. I argue that Braden Swinson, one of only 2 people who made a sack today, also forced a fumble, should be starting. I also argue that Savion Jones, who also made a forced fumble, but it was replayed, reviewed, and taken off the stats, off the play, even though Missouri had recovered it as well, just like they did the Swinson fumble. So I also argue that Savion Jones should be starting. So, I mean, are those your best guys out there? Swinson and Womack should be out there alongside Wingo and Smith. Luckily, Omar Spates was out this game, so they had to start with Weeks. They couldn't, screw that up. Thank God. Then the safeties, Major Burns, so hot and cold with him. But All that matters with Major Burns is that he finishes the game doing something like that. Major Burns is going to rack up the tackles, but he's going to make some bad plays, some missed tackles, some completely blown coverages. But as long as Burns can make an interception, run it back for a touchdown, and seal a game like that, whatever. We'll take the good with the bad, because right now he is one of the best safeties you've definitely got, and he absolutely has to play. I mean, if you didn't have Major Burns back there, you'd be absolutely screwed. Trust me. Like, I know he's looked bad. I know there's times where it looks like he's the one there's the big problem. Trust me, he is not the issue. Watch the L22 tape. Andre Sam is the one who's really exposing this defense and the flaws in this defense at will. Zy Alexander, 7 tackles, all 7 were solo. Do you know what that tells you? He was caught on a lot, but he didn't allow too much after the catch, except if it was in the end zone. Once again, Zy Alexander allowing touchdowns. Going into this game, I believe it was 3 that he had allowed. Let's look at it right here on the Pro Football Focus defense. We can pull this up real quick. And we can even share the screen as well so that you can confirm. Share screen. Here we go. Okay. We'll go to the coverage. Who's allowed the most touchdowns? He's gone into this game allowing 2. Thank God, just 2. So that was his 3rd and maybe his 4th. I'm trying to think if he had a 4th there. LSU had only 4 interceptions going in this game. Greg Penn III had that crazy juggling one that we saw. Deuce Chestnut had one against Florida State from a Greg Brooks Jr. pressure, as we saw. Zy Alexander got one. Andre Sam got one. And now today, Harold Perkins I mean, you have to intercept that ball. If you don't intercept that ball, if you drop that interception, like, terrible, terrible, terrible. That game is turned because of that pick. You can't say it any other way. That pick changes that game. And then the Major Burns interception, we were already going to shut the door on that game. But with that defense, you just never know. You didn't want them to get anywhere near field goal range, because that's all they needed was a damn field goal. It felt like Missouri are going to get down there, and then we'll see what's going to happen. But this defense is going to allow them to get down there, and then it's going to get really crazy. What's going to happen here? Instead, Major Burns cuts the play off, takes it for a pick 6. His 3rd interception at LSU as a Tiger. Today was a wild game, a crazy game. 49-39. LSU pull out the victory and put a lot of pressure on this SEC West game going on right now between Alabama and A&M, because if you don't win that game, you're screwed, because both these teams still have to play LSU as well. It's a situation no one wants to be in. Like, Alabama opening the 3rd quarter with the ball down 17-10. We saw former LSU Tiger Max Johnson at quarterback throwing to former LSU Tiger commit Max Johnson at tight end for the touchdown. I mean, oh my God. I was just texting Big Bad Brad to enjoy every second of this. He's been waiting years for his sons to be playing together. And they just scored a touchdown against Alabama. I mean, are they fired up or what? We got to take a bathroom break, and walk this dog, but we actually might continue to do a live stream after this. We might do like just a crazy live stream while we watch these games. But this might end the LSU Missouri section here. We will of course be doing our LSU Missouri article as well, dissection article, as we always do every game. We'll be posting that as well when that is done, most likely tomorrow morning, very early, or sometime in the middle of this night. That article will be done. We'll get the AI machine to write it, of course. 49-39 final score. You had Malik Neighbors with a big game, 146, 6 catches, one touchdown, his 6th of the season. You had Brian Thomas Jr. with a bad drop, but then he had 2 catches that were beautiful, including a 42-yard touchdown, his 9th of the season. 9 touchdowns for Brian Thomas Jr. already this season. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Harold Perkins gets a turnover. He had 2 forced fumbles against Mississippi State. Against Arkansas. And now he gets the interception against Mizzou. I mean, Harold Perkins, I just love watching this player. He's not getting as many sacks as he did last year, but he's still racking up the sacks. Actually, he's still getting. I think he's got 3.5 or something already, and now he's got an interception. He just shows you that he can do it all. Harold Perkins Jr. is the best defender in college football, and he just showed you why again. 2 sacks going into the game. There's the pick again, right as I'm talking about it, it happened. That's hilarious. He just stuffs the stat sheet. That's his 3rd pass breakup of the season. Okay, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, 24 total tackles. Sorry, wow, that's off. 27 total tackles. Only 3 tackles today, but sometimes you wonder about these stats. Anyway, LSUOdyssey.com will be posting that article very soon. Thank you very much for joining us. LSU escape. We survive. The season is still alive. Everybody, I hope you're going to thrive. Somewhere, not in a beehive. Should we keep this rhyming alive? Dive, crive, there we go. It's lost. Peace out, everybody.